about fundamentals, suddenly those fundamentals are being questioned in Turkey. Add to that the risk from the looming election. How should investors be looking at the potential and the risks in Turkey?
Well, we have elections on 14th of May, and I am the leader of one of the opposition parties. And what we are going to see before the elections would be probably more of populist approach. That's inevitable. But then for after elections, if there's a change of a government, and it is very likely to be so, then probably there should be an expectation for better human resources and a more rational approach of what is being done on economic and financial management side. But just not for Turkey, but for many developing countries, what is, at the end of the day, what's important is a rule-based approach when it comes to policy set. We have mainly 4 areas, right? The monetary policy, fiscal policy, macroprudential measure area, and the structural reforms. For the first 3 areas, for the monetary policy, a rule-based approach for central banks is very important to bring credibility, which means under which circumstances, what kind of an action the central bank will do, and announcing this to provide also a forward guidance for the markets that under each scenario, what kind of acts the central bank will do. And pre-announcing this is going to give very important guidance. And for the fiscal policy, fiscal rule is very important for the developing countries. It's difficult. Even the Eurozone came up with a fiscal rule after 2008-2009 crisis. They had to come up with a fiscal rule. But having a fiscal rule is also very important for developing countries to bring predictability to the business world and markets. And then macroprudential measures, using the banking regulation in order to tighten or loosen credit availability. Of course, it's a very complicated area. There are many, many tools that you can use in that area. But again, a rule-based approach for macroprudential measure set is very important. So if there's a rule-based approach for monetary policy, fiscal policy, and macroprudential measure set, this will bring a huge amount of predictability about what will the government do, what will the central bank do, under which circumstances. But the big problem about a rule-based approach is the fact that the political leaders sometimes don't want to be bound by rules. They want to have always choices in front of them. But it's a choice between vulnerability, volatility versus stability. Yes, it limits the choices, but at the end of the day, it benefits the country.
Deva Partisi